Well, I can't sit around doing nothing. I learned that I love to learn, that I'm curious and I'm an eternal student. And every single day I learn something because I wanted to learn it. Now that I don't need to work for money, well, what if I just work because I show up better? And that's it. I have to have meaning to my life, and I have to have some sort of impact for me to feel fulfillment.
At the last Tiger 21 annual meeting, you challenged all of us with lots of questions, basically asking us, did you do this? Did you do that? It was wonderful. I thought it was fantastic. So I can see how your method with asking people questions can shift something. You provoke thoughts and even inspire by those questions. It's probably what you usually do, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, to me, the most thought-provoking commentary, ideas, intellectual stimulation all comes from high-quality questions. I think the better quality of questions you can ask, the better quality of conversation you have, the more deep you can go, the more real you can go, the more impact you can have. So we can ask the surface level stuff. We can ask about, or talk about weather or sports or whatever that makes it just easy to talk about, going shopping, that's easy. What if we ask questions that are really penetrating, that are really like meaningful to life? What if we ask questions that people have never been asked before? They've never had to answer before, where they can't just rattle something off. They actually have to sit there for a moment, pause, internalize it, and then give a thoughtful response. A higher quality question is what's best for the business? What's best for the clients? What's best for the employees? What's best for your family alongside the business, right? And so if we can answer some of those questions and take the financial part out of it, you'll see the value. You'll ask higher quality questions. You'll have higher quality creation solutions, experiments that you're willing to tackle and try because you're not worried about money. I just think it opens the door for a better existence, for a better way to live, a better way to work. After, sessions working with different people, I'll hear the comment of like, I've never told anyone this. I've never thought about this. I've never put this collection of ideas together. I mean, even when I wrote my book, I hired brilliant people that I thought were the best question askers out there to ask me questions to elicit things that I felt like only a good quality question could unearth. Like I wasn't going to be able to do it on my own.
Justin, you know how very soon after a big exit, and I'm sure you've seen it with people you talk to, we face this dilemma. Shall I work or shall I retire, right? I call it an exited founder's dilemma. And I feel that, and I found actually that both paths have dangers, and those dangers are hidden. It's not that simple. Neither path is necessarily right. But if you imagine someone standing at that crossroads, and you've been there, what kind of questions would you ask that person to help them choose for themselves which way they want to go?
I mean, everyone's got their own journey, and what was best for you may not be best for them. So that's why I like you even framing it this way. Like, what questions do you ask to help them come up with what's best for them? I do believe deep down that everyone benefits from time off. If someone's been grinding, regardless of the size of the exit, that some time off will really bring restoration to everyone. Like, I really believe that. Now, how long of time may be different. What are you doing in that time? That may vary. But, for me, it would be less like, do you want to rush into your next thing or do you want to take time off? It's like, hey, how long do you think would make sense to take off? Like, you're going to get to a point where you're going to have a lot of options and a lot of opportunities. When people know you're on the free market, more opportunities are going to just show up. And if you don't have a plan, you're going to say yes by default. And I think it's really important to know how you're going to respond and how long you're going to say no, to buy yourself time and space to think, to plan, to create clarity. It would be done through a series of questions. It would be done through a series of readings. Like there's a lot of content out there around exiting and what that looks like and the existential you know, issues and you know, what comes from it. I think everyone just benefits from not rushing into the next thing. The next thing could be huge, but that doesn't mean it's best for you or your family. And just taking time to regroup and figure out, what does a life of meaning really look like? What does fulfillment for you really look like? What does a good schedule look like? What does your involvement with your family need to look like? And it's like, answer all these questions. Actually, I have this list of questions that I have journaled in journaled answers to in different seasons of life, different transitions of life. And before I'm going to move on to that next transition, I just want clarity, because that has made all the difference in the world.